400 meters of steel wedged across the world's most critical waterway, 12% of global trade stops, 300 ships trapped, $10 billion lost per day. One canal, one ship, total paralysis. This is Naval Frontline, where fleets meet first. Suez Canal, Egypt, 193 kilometers connecting Mediterranean to Red Sea, the shortcut between Europe and Asia. Without Suez, ships sail around Africa. Cape of Good Hope route adds 9,000 kilometers, adds 14 days transit time, adds $2 million fuel cost per voyage. Every major shipping company uses Suez. Every day, 50 vessels transit, tankers, container ships, bulk carriers, 12% of all seaborne trade, 7% of global oil. The canal is not just infrastructure, it is the circulatory system of world commerce. And that system just stopped. 05:43 local time. Container ship Ever Forward enters the southern approach. 24,000 TEU capacity, 400 meters long, 59 meters wide, draft 16 meters, one of the largest container ships afloat, built 2023, owned by Evergreen Marine, Taiwan Registry. The ship transits northbound, carrying 15,000 containers, electronics from Asia, textiles from Bangladesh, auto parts from Thailand. Destination, Rotterdam. Standard route, routine transit, until the wind picks up. At SO 612, wind speed reaches 45 knots. Sandstorm blowing from the west. Visibility drops to 100 meters. The canal is narrow here, 200 meters wide. No room for error. The Ever Forward fights the wind, steering hard to maintain centerline. But 45 knots of wind on a 59-meter wide hull creates massive lateral force. The ship's bow begins drifting, pushed toward the eastern bank. The captain orders hard rudder, full power, trying to compensate, trying to stay centered. But the physics are brutal. Wind pressure exceeds steering authority. At 06:17, the bow touches bottom. Eastern bank. The ship is aground. The stern swings. Momentum carries it across the canal. The stern grounds on the western bank. The Ever Forward is wedged diagonally, blocking the entire width. 400 meters of steel stretched across 193 meters of canal. No vessel can pass, north or south. The Suez Canal is closed. Naval Frontline tracks the moment global trade stops, where one ship becomes one crisis, where geography becomes destiny. At 06:33, Suez Canal Authority receives notification. Ship aground at kilometer 151. Complete blockage. All traffic halted. The authority scrambles response teams, tugboats, dredgers, salvage crews. But the Ever Forward displaces 220,000 tons. Fully loaded, the ship is not just stuck, it is embedded. Bow buried 3 meters into sand. Stern pressed against opposite bank. Moving this requires more than tugboats, requires engineering, requires time. At 08:15, the queue begins forming. Northbound ships stop at Great Bitter Lake. Waiting area, designed for passing, not for parking. Capacity, 20 ships. By noon, 50 ships are waiting. By evening, 100. They anchor. Engines idle. Crews wait. No timeline for reopening. No estimate for clearance. Just wait. Southbound ships stack up in the Mediterranean. Port said anchorage fills. 150 vessels by midnight. Container ships, tankers, LNG carriers, bulk carriers, naval vessels, everyone stuck. The global supply chain freezes. At 10:47, shipping companies begin calculating alternatives. Continue waiting or reroute. Reroute means Cape of Good Hope, around entire African continent. Container ship MSC Isabella makes the call. Reroute, turns around, heads back to Mediterranean. Destination, Gibraltar, then south, around Africa. Additional distance, 9,000 kilometers. Additional time, 14 days. Additional fuel, $800,000. Additional port fees, 200,000. Total extra cost, 1 million per ship. But waiting might cost more. Every day stuck is every day of delayed delivery. Every day is penalty clauses. Every day is customer complaints. By 14ing, 30 ships have rerouted. By evening, 100. The maritime traffic patterns shift. Cape route becomes primary. Suez becomes irrelevant. The economic impact is immediate. European ports prepare for delays. Container terminals reschedule. Rail connections adjust. Truck deliveries postpone. Warehouses run low. Factories slow production. Retail shelves thin. All because one ship is stuck in Egypt. At 1622, salvage assessment is complete. Ever Forward requires the following: dredge 20,000 cubic meters of sand from bow. Remove 10,000 containers to reduce weight. Deploy 12 tugboats for combined pull. Install ground anchors for leverage. Timeline, 1 week minimum, maybe 2. $10 billion of trade per day times 14 days. 140 billion in economic impact. Stock markets react. Shipping company shares drop. Oil prices spike. Supply chain stocks tumble. The financial contagion spreads. What started as navigation error becomes global economic. Who controls global trade when canal closes? A. No one. B. Geography. C. One ship's captain. The answer is uncomfortable. At 1935, Egyptian military mobilizes. Navy deploys patrol boats around the Ever Forward, securing the area, preventing interference. Army engineers join salvage effort. Equipment moves to site, dredgers, excavators, pumps. This is national emergency. Suez Canal provides $6 billion annual revenue to Egypt. Critical income, economic lifeline. Every day closed is every day of lost fees, lost reputation, lost trust. Egypt cannot afford extended closure. At 22-er, dredging begins. Suction dredgers worse around the bow, removing sand, creating space. The operation runs 24 hours, no breaks. Floodlights illuminate the ship. Crews rotate, work continues. But 20,000 cubic meters is massive volume. Dredgers remove 500 cubic meters per hour. Timeline, 40 hours of continuous dredging, and that is just to free the bow. At 03:17, container removal begins. The Ever Forward's own cranes cannot reach containers. Ship is listing. Cranes are inoperable. Mobile harbor cranes are brought in, positioned on the canal bank. Reach extended over the ship, one container at a time. Lifted, moved, stacked on shore. 10,000 containers to remove. Crane capacity, 20 containers per hour. Timeline, 500 hours, 20 days. The math is devastating, but what happened during the night shift changed everything. At 05:44, intelligence reports surface. Israeli Mossad warns of sabotage possibility. Recent tensions between Egypt and Turkey. Regional conflicts. The timing is suspicious. Ever Forward is Evergreen Marine ship. Same company as Ever Given. The ship that blocked Suez in 2021. Same company, same canal, same problem. Coincidence or pattern? Egyptian investigation begins. Ship's navigation logs examined, crew interviews conducted, weather data verified, every system checked for tampering, every decision questioned. Was this accident or attack? The geopolitical implications are massive. Suez Canal sits 200 kilometers from Gaza, 400 kilometers from Yemen, 600 kilometers from Iran. Regional conflicts simmer. Any of those actors could benefit from canal disruption. Israel imports via Suez. Closure helps Egypt's negotiating position. Turkey competes for trade routes. Closure shifts traffic to Turkish ports. Iran wants to damage Western economies. Closure accomplishes that. The investigation finds no evidence. Navigation logs are clean. Crew is experienced. Weather was genuinely severe. Systems functioned normally. This was accident. But the suspicion lingers because the impact is too convenient, too damaging, too perfectly timed. Is this warning or the start of something bigger? If one ship can paralyze global trade by accident, one ship can paralyze global trade by design. The vulnerability is exposed. Suez has no redundancy, no backup, no alternative. Ships use Suez or sail around Africa. There is no third option. That single point of failure controls 12% of trade, and single points of failure are targets. At 1420, Iranian media makes veiled comments, suggests Western dependence on Suez is weakness, suggests vulnerability should be remembered, suggests future incidents possible. The message is received. At 1835, Chinese state media runs analysis, notes global supply chain fragility, notes dependence on Western-controlled choke points, notes need for alternative routes. Belt and Road Initiative mentioned, Northern Sea Route discussed. The geopolitical maneuvering begins before Salvage even completes. Every nation sees opportunity. Every nation adjusts strategy. Every nation learns the lesson. Control choke points or bypass them. At 21, your salvage operation continues. Dredging progress, 30% complete. Container removal, 15% complete. Timeline, still 1 week minimum. The queue now exceeds 300 ships, waiting north and south. Burning fuel, paying crew, losing money. Some companies calculate total loss, abandon the wait, reroute via Cape, cut losses, and move. At 0230, environmental concerns emerge. The Ever Forward carries heavy fuel oil, bunker fuel. If hull breach occurs, spillage could devastate canal. Egyptian authorities deploy containment booms. Pollution response teams stand by. But containment in canal is nearly impossible. Current flows, water circulates, spill would spread, would contaminate, would close canal for months during cleanup. The risk compounds. At 08:00 day 3, dredging 60% complete. Space around bow is opening. Tugboats are positioned. 12 vessels, combined horsepower 120,000. Pull cables attached to Ever Forward's stern, ground anchors installed on banks, everything ready for extraction attempt. At 10:15, first pull attempt. All 12 tugs apply maximum power. Pull cables strain, the Ever Forward does not move. Still too much friction, still too much sand, still too heavy. The attempt fails. At 14:30, more containers are removed. Weight reduction continues. Every container is 25 tons less. Every ton helps. At 18:45, second pull attempt. Tugs coordinate, synchronized pull, maximum force. The Ever Forward shifts, moves 1 meter. The bow lifts slightly, progress. But 1 meter is not enough. Need to move 400 meters. Need to rotate 90 degrees. Need to free completely. At 22, on high tide arrives. Water level rises 30 centimeters. Buoyancy increases. Third pull attempt begins. Tugs strain. Cables vibrate. The ship moves. 2 meters, 5 meters, 10 meters. The bow is lifting, breaking free from sand. At 23:17, the stern breaks loose. The Ever Forward is floating, still diagonal, still blocking canal, but no longer grounded. Tugs maneuver the ship, slowly rotating, aligning with canal center line. At 01:33 day 4, the Ever Forward is centered, floating free. Canal is clear. Salvage operation successful. Suez Canal Authority declares canal open. Traffic can resume. The 300 waiting ships begin moving. Northbound convoy starts. Southbound follows. The backlog will take 4 days to clear, but the crisis is over. The canal flows again. At 06, economic assessment begins. 4 days closure. 140 ships rerouted. 10 billion per day times 4 days. 40 billion in delayed trade. Insurance claims will exceed 5 billion. Egypt lost 100 million in canal fees. Shipping companies lost 2 billion in delays and reroutes. Consumers will see price increases. Supply chains will take weeks to normalize, all because one ship got stuck. What does the next move look like at sea? Suez Canal Authority announces new regulations, maximum ship size restrictions, mandatory tug escort for large vessels, weather limits for transit, lessons learned, procedures improved, but the fundamental vulnerability remains. The canal is still narrow, still single lane in places, still one away from closure, and every hostile actor now knows. Sabotage one ship and you sabotage global trade. The blueprint is visible, the target is known, the impact is proven. Who controls these waters? Egypt legally, but practically whoever can block them. Naval forces cannot prevent grounding, cannot stop accidents, cannot guard against sabotage disguised as mishap. Does this escalate next? More incidents are inevitable, accidental or intentional. The probability is simple mathematics. 50 transits per day, 365 days per year, 18,000 transits annually. Eventually another ship will ground, another blockage will occur, another crisis will emerge. The question is frequency and intent and global response. Subscribe to Naval Frontline, where fleets meet first. The Suez Canal is open for now, but the vulnerability is permanent.